starts tomorrow with New Zealand. Talk us through that.
It's what they are describing as possibly the most important match outside of the World Cup final, because it is the two teams that are in form at the moment. Without question, the two best teams in the world at the moment, and this is the match that could potentially decide the rugby championship this year, and it's an important psychological win heading towards now on the sort of downside of heading towards the 2015 World Cup. South Africa are in an interesting position at the moment. You know, South Africa have been for so many years been accused of playing one-dimensional rugby, and I think this team is not doing that anymore. They have some serious power up front. We all know that, but they're playing with some pace and they're playing out wide at the back, so it's a little bit more of an interesting team to come up against. And New Zealand have acknowledged that. I still think New Zealand are the better team. They don't have Richie McCaw, and they've brought in a very inexperienced Sam Cane in his place, but they do have brought some experience and power. Liam Messam is back for that very reason. Dane Coles is at hooker, which is an interesting choice because he's very inexperienced. But I think that is with half an eye towards the World Cup as well. So I think it's going to be interesting. Dan Carter is playing, and he says that this is going to be the toughest match that they've ever played in because this is the best South African team he's ever played. But that's mind games, and it worries me so much because I think the Springboks are going to believe him. The number one ranking is at stake here.
But also Henneke Meyer can play mind games.
So, Pirates against AC Leopards. You know what? On paper, Pirates should win this one, but I think it's always tough playing away from home in these competitions. Pirates have had a tough time, but it's tough in Africa. It's going to be a difficult one. 3:30 tomorrow afternoon.
Ask Mark Fish and them. They came back with bruises, and it's like they were
Yes, remember that. Yeah.
All right, and the rest of the PSL,
yes, that starts again. Starts again tonight with a match between Wits and Ajax Cape Town. There are 4 matches tomorrow. Free State Stars against Platinum Stars, that could be an interesting one. Tuks against Bloem Celtic could be a close one too. Kaizer Chiefs are playing tomorrow night against Maritzburg United. Interesting because on paper
the Davis Cup.
There's a whole lot of Davis Cup action taking place this weekend because there's the 2 semi-finals, Serbia against Canada and the Czech Republic against Argentina. There's the playoffs for the World Group, which include teams like Spain and Great Britain and Switzerland, surprisingly enough. And then South Africa was relegated because we lost that playoff round last year. So we are now playing in the Euro Africa Zone 1 playoffs and against Slovakia this weekend. And we have to win this if we don't want to be relegated to Zone 2. So it's a big game for us. Slovenia, I beg your pardon. I said Slovakia, didn't I? I meant Slovenia.
Yeah, right.
But I dare anybody to point out which one is which on a map for me.
Slovenia and Slovakia, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And the Czech Republic is somewhere in there as well. On paper, it should be fairly close, and there was a bit of a boost for South Africa because their top singles player is injured, so he's not going to be playing in the first round of the singles. So it could be quite close, even though we don't have Kevin Anderson.
That's what I wanted to ask.
I want to make a point about
Davis Cup.
No, because he wants to protect his ranking. I want to make a point that on Monday, Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal were playing in the US Open final. Today, they are both playing Davis Cup. Kevin Anderson, are you listening? He's sitting there, and you know what Kevin Anderson
and
is
it's number
right
1 and 2,
He's
and
sitting
Kevin
there
is
watching the box in Australia.
Okay, easy. Is number 30 what? Captain is very important.
That's
now there was Floyd Mayweather who says he is the best thing ever to happen in boxing.
You know, I read the most amazing article yesterday. It was the most wonderful piece of journalism that I've read in a long time, talking about Floyd Mayweather. And the fact is that he's the last of those completely over-the-top, outrageous, arrogant, too much money, too much time,
Chris
too many things.
Kind
yes,
of,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely extraordinary. They're talking about he went into a jewelry shop and he laid down about $250,000 on a birthday present for his daughter, and then was arguing with the jewelry shop owner about a $3.5 million watch. He at some point he's decided to show the journalist his bank statement. He doesn't believe in putting his money all over the place and investing it. So all his money is in one bank account. When you go to the bank, every now and again you get that minus in front of the numbers come out red. Floyd Mayweather has $123 million and change in one bank account that he can go to the ATM and draw whenever he wants.
And he's going to beg another $40 million.